I think. You know what this is, Colby?
What's that, Barry?
It's a spare. I don't know if that's the line anymore. I've already forgotten. What's going on, guys? My name is Barry.
And this is Colby.
And this is Who Watches This.
Theme music.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to another week of WWE month.
Oh, yeah.
And you know, we couldn't do it.
Hell yeah.
And you know, we couldn't do a WWE month without doing a Stone Cold movie.
You know it.
You know, one of the unfortunate things I feel about Stone Cold is that I just feel he came too late as an actor.
Really. This is Stone Cold and Dolph Lundgren, and this movie would have been huge 10 years earlier.
No, like if Stone Cold had came out as as a wrestling star and the actor in the late 80s, early 90s.
Yep.
Boom. Because this plot is pretty much plucked from any action movie from the 90s.
Right. Little twist at the end. Not much, but a little. But yeah. This is
The twist at the end, I was just like, what? You guys, okay, sure, that's how it's gonna go. You know, I really wanted this to be a continuation of the Universal Soldier program. They're both from the Army, I think.
right.
Stone Cold has a body that looks like he could have been a Universal Soldier.
I'm not 100% sure this isn't from that universe.
You know, especially when we're talking about blood types. Spoiler alert.
Right.
But yeah, you know, I just feel like it's really sad. Not sad, you know, because I'm sure he's still doing pretty fine money wise. I don't think it takes a lot for Stone Cold to like live. You know, he doesn't look like a very he looks more like a cabin in the woods type of guy.
Oh yeah, he's a little rugged.
Right?
As long as he can have like his Pabst Blue Ribbon and coffee, I think that's pretty much all he needs. You know, he can go hunt a bear every once in a while for food.
For sustenance. Yeah, you know, he doesn't look like a very fancy guy. Stone Cold looks like he could just rough it. I remember in WWF, he's like, if it has 4 wheels and a stick shift, I could drive it.
Yep.
Or 2 wheels.
Right. Oh yeah, he had a motorcycle for a while.
Or if it just has wheels at all.
Not sure I see Stone Cold on Heelys, but
Hey man, you never know. You might want to try something new one day. Maybe on a unicycle. But yeah, it just feels like Stone Cold. Yeah, he's not doing too bad. But you know, I feel like in the late '80s, early '90s, he would have been like a huge action star.
yeah.
You know, he has like that very American style of fighting. Just haymaker after haymaker.
Right. He could take a punch, but he can give a punch.
Jeez, that dude, Steve Austin's neck is like a tree trunk.
And I have to say, like, I don't know if this is like politically correct to say like it used to be, but we'll start it with no homo. But I have never seen Steve Austin. He's always like in like a leather jacket and on a motorcycle and in like tore up jeans. He is an attractive man in a nice cut suit.
Oh yeah,
At the beginning, I'm like, oh, he could be the ladies' man in this one.
Well, like he's definitely a Chad, right? Like he was like, if I had just seen Stone Cold in a bar, you know, with that high school ring that he still holds in this movie. He's a guy that was like star of the football team. You know, he'll show you his ring. He's like, look at that, 4 touchdowns in 1 game.
Yep.
But he's a burly dude, and he's not a bad looking guy. Stone Cold, but he's for a certain demographic, right? He's
right.
Not
No, and that's
classically Hollywood.
but that's what I'm saying is this is the first time I saw him in a suit, and I thought, wow, he could really pull off that more handsome part than just the straight rugged part.
Yeah, like if this was the early '90s, they made a live action Spider-Man movie. Could have been Kingpin. Kingpin doesn't have to be a fat dude.
He doesn't. I could see that.
Yeah, he fills out a suit really well.
Right.
Right. But yeah, obviously, I think this is also the first time I've ever seen him in a suit. But here let's actually talk about this movie really quick. The plot is wax paper thin. This is why this is the movie plot from the 90s, late 80s, because there's not much going on in this film that we could actually really just cut through this movie really quickly, right?
Right.
So, Stone Cold Steve Austin is a loan collector for a mob boss.
Right.
And Stone Cold seems pretty loyal to this guy, but we find out after he goes back to the mob boss for collections that his brother had actually crossed the mob.
Yeah.
And it's that white guy that's in a lot of like movies that he's always like this skeevy.
He's lots of times a cop.
Yeah, he's a cop, but he's always a dirty cop.
Right.
Like when that guy actually plays a good guy, it doesn't sit right with me.
So which was Scary Movie?
Yeah, he was in Scary Movie. He was the tiny dick guy from Scary Movie.
I was gonna say he's the one who was like, "You got a baby penis too?" Like I feel so bad that's the line both of us remember him from of all the movies he's in.
I remember him in a lot of things, but he's always playing like a really skeezy dude. He's never a good guy.
Right.
And I don't know what it is about his face or maybe the way he acts, but I was like, nah, dude, you're the dude that's touching the waitress's ass and then getting hit by the main character.
Right. He's in the Wayans Brothers movie White Chicks, and he's like the cop who's always like sniffing girls' underwear.
Oh, you know what? That's actually probably one of the first times where, I mean, yeah, he's skeevy in there, but he's actually pretty decent at doing the comedy. Right. He's good at playing the straight guy. Yeah. So I do remember that his partner's like, "Did you just sniff those panties?" And he's like, "Dude, you sniffed those panties."
You know that's a dude, right? And he's like, "Oh."
Oh, that's so crazy. Oh man, but yeah, and so we learned that Stone Cold's brother has actually crossed. So he's more staying in line for this work, also because of his brother.
Right.
To keep him safe in jail because a lot of big thugs are in the same jail with him. And the funny thing about the scene with them is so for Asian people, like that's who I could speak on, right? Is we a lot of countries like Korea, Japan, Philippines, we have names for our older siblings. You know, for Philippines it's kuya, ate, and it doesn't sound weird to me. Or like when I hear Koreans like say like, "Oh, hyung," you know, that's like older brother, or aniki, which is for Japanese. But when I hear white people call each other, "Yeah, bro,"
"Hey, big brother," yeah,
it doesn't. It sounds so weird to me.
Right. Yeah.
He's like, "Oh, dude, yeah, I know you do it for me, bro."
Right, because bro is like not family. That's like, "Hey, bro, what's up?"
Yeah.
It's not like, "Hey, big brother, bro,
big bro,
little bro." Yeah, you're right.
It's weird, right? Did it for you? Maybe you don't notice it, but for me, I was like, man, that sounds so weird when they do that. When it's not like amongst friends,
right?
You know, and even when it's amongst friends, there's like alternative ways to say it now. It's like, "What's up, brosif?"
Yeah.
A broham link. or the newer one in recent years. "What up, bruh?" I think it's maybe because for me, it's just it feels like it's a little bit cringy. Just for me though, I'm not 100% sure, right? But yeah, and so we find out that Stone Cold Steve Austin is tasked to do a job.
Right. And so you learn a little bit that there is 3 mob factions that are all kind of fighting, and this is for the mob boss that Steve Austin works for. This is the favor he's going to do for the German, who is the leader of a different mob faction.
Yes, it's German,
and that will align the two of them at least temporarily against the third.
Right, and then so Stone Cold Steve Austin takes this job where it's for him to deliver a package because it's going to clear out his brother's debt. But we're going by transporters rules. You don't look at the package; you just hand it off.
Right.
And so on his way to go deliver it, his partner is like, "Come on, man, what's in it?" And as he was trying to look, he gets ambushed by a squad.
Yeah, and sniped. Like
his partner gets sniped.
The partner gets sniped right in the face.
Yeah, and so like he gets pinned down in this little shop. He's told the kid to leave. He doesn't because he's dumb. And he gets the jump on these military people. One of the things that infuriated me is once he takes the gun from Rico Suave over there, he doesn't shoot Rico Suave. Yeah, I was like, all I could think about is, you know what? John Wick would have shot him.
Right. I kept thinking The Rock in The Rundown, where he's like, I don't like shooting guns. It takes me to a bad place.
Right, no, but he kills the other guy. He kills the smaller dude.
Right, yeah, because they're easy to shoot.
Right. And I was mad that he didn't use the Crombot on the big dude. He just kept beating him with the brass knuckle part, but I was like, just slice his neck. You already killed one dude. What's one more dude at this point?
Yeah.
One of the guys in the truck brings out a machine gun and starts using it like he's in a Scarface sequel.
Right, yeah. No, he goes all like Arnold Schwarzenegger belt-fed M60 on the building.
Yeah, that dude is not doing that one-handed. He doesn't look built enough. I can believe Arnold doing it.
Right.
Not that dude.
Yeah.
That dude looks like the guy from Breaking Bad. I forgot the Dominican guy.
Oh, he does. Yeah. Yes. Same size, kind of same attitude.
Same build.
Yep.
Very lean, right? But no, Stone Cold Steve Austin, he dips, he steals a motorcycle, because no one's going to question him about a motorcycle. He's stealing a motorcycle.
Right.
He ends up calling, I believe, he ends up calling Doug, and he's all like, I don't like how this sounds, Doug, or smells, Doug. I can't do a Stone Cold, it's too hard. He has such a distinct voice.
He does, yeah.
I feel like I have to chew tobacco for like 20 more years. I'm just kidding. But he has a very rhythmic voice. But he tells Doug, I don't like the smell of this. This doesn't smell right. I want to just hand it off to somebody else to do. I know this is gonna mess up my brother's thing, but I could do something else for you. Doug's like, oh well, we could do that, but the mob's in a pinch, which I don't think I've ever heard from a mobster. The mob is never in a pinch. You're just in a small town. You're small potatoes. Your meatballs are too small. But he tells Stone Cold Steve Austin, he's like, hey, if you do this, I'm gonna have to cut your pay, and your pay after that, and all that stuff.
Right, and you had met Steve Austin's his lady, and he does make the comment. She's like, I wish he didn't have to work for Big Doug, and he's like, I've looked into bouncing, and it's not going to pay the bills like Big Doug does. So
yeah, but then, like Stone Cold, he's former military, and what it sounds like he was, in a special unit. He
right.
could definitely go into the private sector for security.
Yeah, I would think so.
Right, just like in season 2 of Daredevil. when he, the guy, the Daredevil's, Punisher's friend.
Oh, well, yeah.
He's, go to the private sector, make your money that way. Dude, you're so big. You're so intimidating. I wouldn't want to fuck with you. I wouldn't even want to breathe the same air as you. I might offend you, like you're breathing too hard. Hey, Bubba. If Stone Cold called me Bubba, that's my nickname now. It's just Bubba.
Right, yeah.
But, what's it called? Yeah, so he calls his lady after that, and she's like, oh, you sound tired. And he's like, no, I'm alright. I'll see you tomorrow. And I was like, man, I don't know if he's coming back, if he's saying all this early in the movie, right?
Yep.
But no, as he tries to escape, we find out that the guy from the beginning of the movie where he's trying to collect money from is the one that actually dimed him out to Anthony, who is like the third family.
Right.
And this guy just looks like he should be staying at H.P. Lewitt or whatever that accounting firm is and doing my taxes.
Yeah, he does. He looks less tough than Ben Affleck did in The Accountant.
Oh, yeah. No, you don't want to mess with Ben Affleck. You don't want to mess with that accountant. He was still built off of Batman. Or even, what's it called? The Mr. Nobody with Better Call Saul?
Yes.
He was a collector. Or no, auditor. I like how like a lot of these underground societies give all these people job names that are like simple, like
right, yep. Right? Yeah. The more generic, the easier it is for you to feel
safe.
For you to feel like that could be you.
Like
I also audited a file at work. I could be that guy.
Oh, I also wiped up vomit. I am also a janitor. But janitor sounds like it could be one of the nicknames, right? Because he cleans up all the messes.
Oh, true.
He's like, I gotta tie up some loose ends, and that's when he puts on those gloves. He's like, don't worry, if the glove don't fit, you must have quit. Stone Cold Steve Austin, he gets he gets into a fight with the guy's name is Lewis, with his partner in the Anthony mob, and this guy is somehow standing toe to toe with Steve Austin because he knows kung fu. I kept thinking it's the fight between Dolph Lundgren and Jason Lee in that like Jason Lee's like first big movie that wasn't The Crow. Where he's like, he says like Dolph Lundgren, he's like, yeah, I know martial arts, so like, I could whoop your ass. And Dolph Lundgren's like, I only have to hit you once. And he's like, yeah, but you have to hit me. Wait, Jason Lee Scott?
No, isn't
Brandon Lee.
Brandon Lee. Not yes. Yeah, I couldn't see Dolph Lundgren fighting the guy from Mallrats.
No. Brandon Lee is the guy from The Crow.
Yes, but Jason Lee is the one from Mallrats.
Oh. Wait, no, Jason Lee Mewes? Jay?
No, Brody.
Wait, Brody fought Dolph Lundgren?
No, Bruce Lee's son.
Bruce Lee's son is Brandon Lee.
Brandon Lee, sorry.
This is who I thought you were talking about, who played Bruce Lee in his biopic. No, that's the Red Ranger.
He is also a Jason Lee, yes.
Oh no! So we're gonna take a little break here to find out who I'm talking about. That guy.
Oh, okay.
He was also in the movie with Kurt Russell. Soldier?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, I thought that's who you were talking about. I was like, oh, so Brandon Lee had a movie before The Crow.
Yeah,
I thought The Crow was his first movie.
Oh, then maybe it was right after that. Maybe it was his second.
No, because he died in The Crow during the filming. Remember, there was an actual live.
But he was in about 6 movies.
Oh, okay.
So
maybe it was.
It must have been before.
Okay. All right, yeah, but this guy from the Anthony gang, he's kung fuing Steve Austin. Meanwhile, there's construction workers just welding and just not minding any business.
That was the weirdest. Like, it was a cool visual effect because they're fighting like in the sparks, and it made the lighting cool and stuff. But yeah, if you're a welder and you're welding like a stairwell, and then two big ass dudes just get in a brawl in front of you, I feel like you stop welding.
Yeah.
If nothing else,
don't.
If nothing else, to watch.
No, because there's two guys there. One was a supervisor, and he was definitely watching.
Oh, okay.
He's probably like, shh, don't mind this. I'll tell you about it after.
We're already on overtime. Keep working. It's nighttime. The ground is wet, so obviously it rained earlier. Right. We're already behind.
But you know what? And this guy really gets Steve Austin to fight him because this guy says Steve Austin's home address, and he's all like, "You got a nice little piece at home." And of course, Steve Austin, being Steve Austin, has to eliminate this guy, but he doesn't kill him, which made me sad.
Right,
like,
but it was a little bit honorable because the guy was like, "I know your home address, but I'm not the kind of guy who's going to do that. I would rather have the reputation of beating you one-on-one because you've got a name for yourself in this part of the world."
Yeah. So I guess Steve Austin is just like, "You're not going to do anything." But
it's a decent fight.
Yeah, it's just this guy looks so out of shape to me. That I can't believe him doing roundhouse kicks.
Right. He looks like he's the hitman from like the Mob, but from like a 70s movie. Right. Where you're like, oh, he's scary because you know he's part of the Mob, not because he's big.
I was like, if you give this guy a knife, then I could believe it. He looks like a stabby kind of guy. Right?
Yeah.
And so as Stone Cold's trying to leave, he gets caught up again by the military people, and they hold him because he's already killed two of their people, and so he has to. They want him to be accountable, and they also get contracted by Anthony to get these guys, right, or to get Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah.
One of the cringiest moments in this movie, though, for me, was when Rico Suave is like, "I've hunted insurgents in Afghanistan. Da 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 da. Why is this guy giving me so much trouble?" And I was like, "Who are you talking to? Like, is this just your inner monologue? This is what you say to yourself?" But
that's right, because he's like, yeah, this is supposed to just be a bouncer. We got to get back on the game. We've underestimated our opponent. It's like, what? Yeah.
And I guess he's talking to the gas station attendant, but he doesn't care. He just doesn't want to die, which he does die. But and so as Stone Cold Steve Austin is being held by these people, they're trying to intimidate him by saying that the person that's going to torture him is the fiance of one of the guys that got murdered. Right. And so I'm
assuming the tall one.
Yeah, I think the tall one. I don't know. Maybe the short one. Maybe she likes her short kings, but this is, of course, after Stone Cold Steve Austin kills Anthony with one hit.
Yes. Headbutt to the nose. Right. Nose goes to the brain and instant death.
Yeah, and Rico's like, "I think I need somebody like you. I've never seen somebody kill somebody with one hit." But no, in Stone Cold...
And at that point, there's this really awkward, like, standoffish thing where that mob boss, he's got like a right-hand man with a machine gun.
Ooh, who just gold-plated too.
It's gold-plated, and he doesn't really know what to do because he's just like, "My boss died. Should I shoot you because you're the enemy, or should I are you now my boss and I'm just..."
No, you should go back and take over. He's like, "Old boss is dead. Now Carl is in the driver's seat."
Right, but there's just like it's like the director didn't know what to do with him, so he's just kind of like, "Just stand there for a minute, and eventually we'll just make you disappear or something."
He gets shot.
He does, but but he's got the machine gun on the bad guys, or on the mercs.
He's like, "Hold on, that's not in the budget." No, but Stone Cold, as he's getting tortured by this girl. He starts mouthing off to her. He's all like, "Your fiance died like a bitch." Dad screaming like a bitch. And you know, for someone who's supposed to be like this expert torturer, she lets him get to him.
Oh yeah,
Her, right?
Quick.
Yeah, it's not even 5 minutes. This girl just snaps and gets emotional.
Right, because she fist punches him, and he's all like, he's Steve Austin, and a girl's fist punching him. He's all like, is that all you got?
You hit like a bitch. Like I said, Steve Austin's neck is a freak. It's like my thigh.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could get that guy in a headlock. If I got the surprise on him. No, and so Steve Austin is able to escape when the chair breaks because she mounts him. Oh no, she mounts him because she's trying to strangle him with a piano wire.
Right.
But
yeah.
it looks like his neck is too thick.
Right. Yes. It looks like a wire saw, and somebody's trying to cut down like a redwood with it. It's like, you're going to strangle him, but it's going to take like 45 minutes.
It's going to be so slow. No, and so he ends up hitting her and then ends up shooting her. Rico Suave and Breaking Bad come back in. Breaking Bad gets shot first, and then Stone Cold and Rico have a fight. This one looks more believable that he's doing all the martial arts.
Yeah, because he looks martial arty.
Yeah, you know, he looks very spry. He looks very agile. But he ends up getting hit with a hammer, and you know, Stone Cold lets him drown in this pool that's in the middle of a warehouse.
Right, and it's a weird pool that, like, you immediately when you see it, you're like, oh, somebody's drowning in that. Right. Because there's really no other reason for there to be this awkward pool in the middle of this warehouse.
Like, I guess maybe the warehouse used to be for steel work, and they would need the pool to cool off the steel, right?
Or to take a swim after, because they're all sweaty and they want to...
I don't know if you want to take a dip with 40 other guys after sweating it out.
I used to work pizza, and I'd get home, and I'd be all sweaty and hot at night, and I'd just go jump in the pool. That way I didn't have to take a shower.
Not also jumping in with 40 other dudes from the warehouse.
That's true. That's true.
And you know, none of those guys are rinsing off before dipping in.
Oh, yeah. That's what chlorine's for.
No, there's going to be that oil that's on top of the pool. I saw that. All right, so a little sidetrack, right, before we get to the end of this film. I used to live in New York, and in New York, there's a very strong Korean community. But Koreans, just like Japanese and certain parts of Europe, they have public baths.
Okay.
Right? And so, like, you know, I went to this spa place. It's cool. They have all these different type of saunas with, like, Himalayan salt sauna and whatever. But in the men's room, and I presume in the women's room, too, there's a whole bunch of different type of jacuzzis.
Okay.
You know, there's, like, one that's, like, green tea jacuzzi. It's, like, fancy, right? But there's also a cold pool.
Okay.
You know, so, like, after you, there's, like, a steam room and a sauna. So after you do everything, you're supposed to, like, rinse yourself off because there's, like, a little shower right there, and then go into the cold pool, right? I saw this big Greek dude come out of the steam room, and if you've ever been in a steam room, it's kind of gross when you come out.
Yeah, you're sweaty.
You're sweaty, right? And so I was heading towards the cold pool, and I was watching this guy, and he's like, he's gonna shower, right? He's gonna rinse himself off, right? Nope, like a humpback whale jumps into this cold pool, and now there's this layer of grease on top of the water. I was like, oh, well, I'm done for the day. But no, and so after Stone Cold Steve Austin eliminates Rico, Breaking Bad actually survives the semi-automatic to the chest because he's wearing a bulletproof vest.
Right, smart guy.
And so he's able to bring Stone Cold Steve Austin to Dolph Lundgren, who is Stone Cold's old, like, unit partner.
Right.
They were in the same recon unit or whatever it was. And so, you know, Stone Cold, he's hooked up to this medical bay, and it looks like they're taking blood from him, and this is where Dolph Lundgren explains, he's like, you know, I've already drained my dad, so there's only you next.
Right.
And this guy who looks like he should sound like he's from Transylvania, he's all like, Well, there's A, B, and 0. But you and Dolph Lundgren have a special blood type.
H. Yeah, he does look. He looks like he would be the scientist that's like on the 40th floor down, in like Area 51, and hasn't left the building in years.
But like, I was like, you know what? Just throw in another H so you could just shout out Triple H at this point. You have the DNA of Hunter Hearst Helmsley.
And then Triple H just busts through the door like the Kool-Aid Man.
Yeah, he starts pedigreeing like the doctors and stuff. No, but yeah, and so Dolph Lundgren leaves like every good bad guy does to watch Stone Cold get drained, and Stone Cold's like, it's not gonna work out, and he gets the doctor to lean in, and then he bites the doctor's neck.
Yep.
Thus leading to Stone Cold's escape, and as he's escaping, he fights Breaking Bad. For some reason, he comes back in. He was already out.
Yeah.
He already got his payment. Leave, dude. Why are you coming back in?
Right.
But he comes back in, and he gets messed up. Or no, he doesn't get messed up. Him and Stone Cold have a little standoff, because Stone Cold, I think, is one of the only people I know that could double fist freaking automatic rifles.
Yep.
I was like, yo, he's holding that like it's a pistol.
And it doesn't look awkward. Yeah.
It's like, it looks proportionate to him.
Right. It would be like if Arnold was doing it.
Yeah, exactly. But no, and then Dolph Lundgren ends up shooting Breaking Bad because he needs Stone Cold alive for his blood, right?
Yep.
And so we get a pretty decent.
So if we didn't just skim over it.
Oh, yeah.
So Stone Cold is the package that he delivered. He delivered himself.
Sorry, yeah.
And because Dolph's got a blood disease and he needs Stone Cold's blood.
Yeah, sorry. So the whole premise for the package is Stone Cold is the package.
Even though the package that
Doug gave Stone Cold
is like Super Bowl tickets.
It's just Super Bowl tickets.
But yeah, there wouldn't be that much death over Super Bowl tickets.
Right.
I hope. Okay.
So we get a pretty decent, retired heavyweight fight right here.
Right. And that's a good fight too.
Yeah, surprisingly, Dolph Lundgren is still pretty spry.
Yeah, and he makes the joke. He's like, I heard you killed Anthony with one hit. I've only seen that happen one time before, but I was holding the roll of quarters in my hand when I threw it.
Which, goes to show you that Stone Cold did it better. Because he just did it with that freaking center block of a head of his.
Yep. That's it's like getting hit with a sledgehammer. I think.
That dome, yeah. But no, Stone Cold ends up, he ends up killing Dolph Lundgren at the end of the fight.
Yep.
As every good guy should. And so he goes back to Doug. He takes the shotgun that Doug has underneath the table. He throws the table there. He's like, so what are you going to do about this? I can't do it. It's so hard, right? I don't think I've ever heard anyone do a Stone Cold impression. But, they're able to separate for good. I'm surprised because I was like, Dolph Lundgren says that Doug had sold Stone Cold to him.
Right.
And I was like, oh, he's going to pump this guy with so much lead.
And he does. He's just kind of like, well, I consider my brother's debt paid.
Yeah.
And Doug's like, well, we have two choices. We could either continue the way we are, and I'll keep paying you the way I do, or Godspeed to you, and I don't ever want to see you again.
Right. And I was waiting for his well, we got the third choice. I can kill you right here.
Right.
But he doesn't do it.
He doesn't?
And you know what? This kind of looks like a small town. Like this Italian restaurant, quote, or bar, it looks like it's in a motel lobby.
Right. It's like he's like, this is the mob boss of like Bakersfield.
Or Paris, Texas. Yeah, it's so weird. But, you know, I was like, all right, cool. I mean, obviously, if I was a mob boss, I wouldn't want to fuck with the guy that took down 2 organizations.
Right.
Dolph Lundgren being a one-man organization.
Yeah.
And, you know, Anthony the accountant. And so, Stone Cold, he sells off the Mercedes that he took from Breaking Bad. Unfortunately, the guy's like, "Hey, you forgot your bag."
Right, and it's obviously this guy's like the fence for this portion of the mob.
Yeah.
But Stone Cold's been to him before because they're buddies. And as he's leaving, he's like, "Hey, you forgot your bag in the trunk."
Yeah,
and he's like,
take anything from him.
He's like, "Bag? What bag?" And he grabs it, and it turns out it's the money bag
that they
paid Breaking Bad to bring Stone Cold in.
Yeah, and he calls his wife, and you know, in the earlier scene from the movie where he had sex with his wife, and again, I'm upset that this wasn't a '90s film because you would have seen her tits.
Right? Yeah, this was a boobless. It's just like an inferred sex,
right? He's like, "Hey, remember that question you asked me? Well, all right."
What he's like, "I just want to tell you I love you," because at the beginning he's all like, she's like, "How come you don't ever say you I love you?" And he's like, "You know how I feel about you." And she's like, "That's all I need to know."
Yeah, and so Steve Austin gets back in his truck and presumably leaves his wife because he has $1 million.
Well, he gets his wife and they go on this dream vacation.
They probably go to Europe. You know, every woman wants to go to Paris. Yeah.
Right.
And the movie ends right there. So, like I said, very paper thin plot. I would want to say that I skimmed a lot, but really I didn't.
Right. I watched it twice.
You watched it
I
twice?
watched it yesterday and then I watched it again.
Okay.
Today.
Well, all right.
Yeah, definitely entertaining enough to watch 2 days in a row. It wasn't like one of the you know, sometimes we watch a movie and I'm like, that movie was deep. I got to watch it again so that I you know, look for the Easter eggs and I can understand why, you know.
Yeah. No, yeah, this is definitely not like anything deep. It's a fun action film. It's a classic. Sort of a classic feel to it, like almost like a throwback to 90s action flicks.
Right. Yep.
The only thing I wish the fight choreography was just a little bit better, a little bit faster.
Which is interesting because the director was the stunt. He was both a stunt man in a bunch of movies and then a stunt director in a number of movies, and then he directed some other action movies. So, like the fight scenes were good, but for being that's his
bread and butter,
his past, they could have been better.
Well, now that you say that, now it makes it even worse because, you know, we have John Wick, who was made by a stunt director.
Right.
Let's be honest, you know, action-wise, leagues above this movie.
Right, yeah.
And so, you know, and then Steve Austin, he's like in his 40s, like early 50s maybe.
Yeah.
But, you know, he still got it. He can still move for a movie.
Right.
I'm not asking him to get back into the ring, you know. Not saying that he couldn't. Because, like, let's see.
I'm sure, you know, he actually, like, does couple times a year, makes a little cameo, slaps somebody around a little bit, hits somebody with a beer can, and then, you know, disappears.
It's not Deborah. Don't worry about it, guys. Yeah, he's 56. Wow, he's 56. Man, he still looks good. You got that Danny Trejo syndrome right there.
You know what it is?
Now he's looking a little bit older right here.
The shaved head thing. It's a weird. Like, okay, so my dad and his brother. Oh, Steve with hair. That's interesting. So my dad and brother are almost almost exactly a year apart. They're like 13 months apart.
Okay.
They went to high school together. They were both on the wrestling team together. they both, speaking of wrestling, but high school, college wrestling, when they're like freshman and sophomore, they look like old pictures of them. They look exactly the same.
Cool.
As a junior, my uncle shaves his head.
Yeah.
My dad does not. He shaves his head and he looks like he's 24. And my dad still looks like he's 15. And then as you look at pictures of them over the next 40 years, he goes from looking like 24 in high school to looking like 40 when he turned 70. And my dad looks like he's 15 in high school, and then he looks like he's 80 when he's 70. And they both have the same face. Like when they're next to each other, they have the same wrinkles, they're the same height, the same body build and everything. But it's
hair.
like that no hair. Like you watch my dad get older as his hair gets thinner. It's like he starts receding. It starts getting gray. And that cue of age just isn't there for my uncle. And he just doesn't ever look like he gets any older.
So just tell your dad to shave his head.
He's threatened to a bunch of times.
Wait, why is it a threat for him to shave his head?
I don't know. Because my mom used to always be like, you better not shave your head.
Oh. All right.
I don't want you looking like your brother.
All right, let's go to our segment before we go to our thoughts about the movie, where we go high star, low star. Colby, what do you want to read today?
I'll do high star.
All right.
Throw my glasses on so I could see. So this is from Schauster. 5 stars. Great. Austin is easily one of the next current action stars. Any fan of 80s styles action movies where the bad guys die in an overly violent death and the good guys win and will get the girl in the very bloody and predictable fashion will love this movie. The fact that an 80s action icon is in it makes it even better. Dolph Lundgren, that is. In summary, if you are a male born after 1975, before 1985, and like violent movies such as Rocky, Rambo, Terminator, etc., this is a great movie. If you thought the Titanic was an epic drama and the best movie ever released, you're probably still correct. But this movie will be somewhere between a bad bottle of wine and good tofu.
Oh, that's weird. That is weirdly accurate. Like, that's such a weird comparison. But, if you're comparing it to Titanic, then yeah.
Yep.
All right, let's go to our 1-star review. I have I got the Punisher talking about this movie. 1 star, The Paper Bag. I'll tell you one thing. Austin Connect. He's comfortable on film and needs some high production roles. But this movie is total crap. The action is slow. Dolph Lundgren needed a stuntman for a knife fight in the beginning of the movie. My grandmother can swing a knife without a double. Don't believe me? Pause the knife fight in the kitchen and you'll see a tall, skinny guy who looks more like Billy Nye than Lundgren. Is he saying Bill Nye the Science Guy?
I think so.
All right. Absolutely hilarious, especially considering there is literally a guy with no arms and legs in Australia who can drive a car and swim in a pool alone. Look him up. He's a motivational speaker. This is a weird promo. Like, this is a movie that takes 2 of my action heroes and makes them look dull, dumb, and slow. No thanks. The package, know what's in it. It should be lit on fire and put on someone's doorstep. Frank Castle. Punisher. Oh man. So Colby, what did you think? What were your thoughts on this movie as you watched it?
I certainly felt much more like 5-star review there than 1 star. Yeah, I mean, like, there the fight scenes were good, but I wanted them to be a little bit better, especially knowing that the director, Jesse V. Johnson, like he was a stuntman in Spider-Man and Spider-Man 2.
Wow.
He is like his first stunt work was in like Total Recall. So I'm like, he's been doing film stuff for a while. He's directed, probably about 15, 16 films, I think I remember. So like it was good but it seemed like it had a pretty decent budget, and they worked well with the budget. Like there was explosions and stuff, and the weird spark factory. But so like that, no problems with that. And like the story was simple, but like I said, 80s throwback. It was definitely. I feel like this is probably Stone Cold's best acting that I've seen.
No, the wrestling movie.
Oh, but because that's almost like not acting, though. That's like real life.
Yeah, but like he's playing I think he's playing like a janitor in there, and it's more of like a drama.
But that's true. That's true.
So I think like this one, he's still pretty good. Like, don't get me wrong.
Because it's a little more of a stretch. It's not just like I'm jumping off this motorcycle and I'm gonna beat some people's faces in. Oh, you kidnapped my daughter. Now I got to take revenge on, You don't
want to see Stone Cold kick a rocket away like The Rock did? No, yeah. So the only, like, as far as, like, any bad flick goes, right? I enjoy it and all that stuff. The only nitpicking things I had in here is, like, they could have picked better sets for things. Like, you've already rented the mansion for Dolph Lundgren. Right? Mm-hmm. You're not using the whole mansion. So, put the mob guys in one of the rooms to make it look like a fancy dinner, like a dining hall. And then
right.
That way this Doug guy has a little bit more legitimacy behind him. Not in this motel bar-restaurant.
That
was like one of the things that I had. I think for the most part they picked cheap sets, but it fit. Like the factory fight fit, because obviously you're gonna torture Stone Cold, so you don't want him to scream. The gas station in the middle of nowhere fit because if you
that was definitely believable. Yeah,
like if you've ever been in a town with a population of 500. The gas station's not going to look fancy.
Right. Yeah.
It's just going to look like how it's going to look like. And so those are the only nitpicky things I had about this. For the most part, I like Stone Cold's character in here. He just seems like a guy that's just trying to provide. But, for his wife. I mean, his wife looks like she's doing fine. What is she, like a nurse? Or something. Or like something.
I don't know. She was in a towel.
Right. Well, no. When he calls, she's in a nice little silky blouse. So she's working in HR.
Well, yeah.
So she's working in the office, so she's making decent money. But they look like they have a pretty nice house, and that's from all the Doug money. But now they have this $1 million bag, so now they could have whatever house they want or apartment. And I don't know what you wanted to. But yeah, so and like again, like I said in the earlier part of this is just the action was just a little bit slow, and and the fact that the director has worked on major projects kind of makes it feel like, well, this is the budget, so I'm gonna half-ass this fight choreography.
Right.
Stone Cold looks like he's out here giving good old left and rights. I know he still has the speed. This is in 2012. He's in his mid-40s.
Right. Yep.
You could do it. Throw in some shaky cam. Make it look faster. Old kung fu style. Speed up. Speed it up just a little bit.
Right.
But then again, another part of my brain is like, well, this is probably what a real fight looks like anyway.
That's true as well. Yeah.
But if I wanted to watch a real fight, I'd just go on YouTube.
Yeah.
Or look up good old bum fights from early 2000. That would be an issue today.
Yes,
Bum fights.
That's probably all been removed from the internet. That's
You gotta go good old Pirate Bay for those clips. But this movie is fun. It's just a good old classic '80s action plot, and Steve Austin's you could feel that his character is relatively a good guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially since he doesn't use guns. He's kind to his wife. He's very hospitable to the
to the people that owe Doug money.
Right. Yeah, he's like, hey, I've already given you 10 days. I can only give you 24 more hours. I thought that was a great scene. That first, like, I'm gonna get the money from you,
one way or another.
Yeah, in the bowling alley. I thought that was well done. I liked it. It quite enjoyable.
Yeah, so it made him feel like he's just a guy doing his job, and he's trying to make sure everyone comes out of it relatively unscathed.
Yeah.
Right? The Lewis guy, really what sets it off with the Anthony issue is this Lewis guy. I mean, you got a broken nose, whatever, man.
Right.
You're not dead like he could have left you. Oh, man. All right, so we're coming up to our hour. I want to thank you guys for joining us. If this is the first time you guys are joining us, please make sure to check out the rest of our episodes. We have a lot of monthly themed episodes, things you might enjoy, like Nicolas Cage month.
We have a Danny Trejo month
coming up, yeah. We have Halloween months and Christmas months. Nothing for Thanksgiving, because there's not a lot of Thanksgiving movies.
No.
So definitely check those out.
We have like not Marvel superhero month.
Oh, those ones are good. Spaghetti Man. Fantasy month. So we have a whole lot of months. Definitely a lot of content for you guys to enjoy. So please do check that out. But since this might be your first time coming here, we do our reviews in 4 sections. We have Stream It, DVD It, Blu-ray It, and Ultimate Stone Cold Collection box. Which, now that I say it, I know Colby's gonna want that, because it's gonna come in a milk truck, the same milk truck that he famously squirted Kurt Angle
with beer.
No, it was
milk. Right?
Because he was like, I only drink milk. No, but realistically, Colby, what are you going for?
I would be very tempted by a
milk truck,
a Steve Austin box collection of all of his movies. That would be a huge collection. He doesn't have big parts in all of them, but he's actually in over 100 movies. Yeah,
and the ones I mostly remember are things like The Longest Yard, where he played a racist prison guy.
That's right. Yep. And I know some of those are wrestling. Like they do count, like when they put like the Royal Rumble on DVD or whatever. They count that as a movie. So, but it's still, you take those out, it still makes it probably 60 plus at least.
Yeah.
Actual movie.
I would say like 40 actual movies.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, no, I would definitely pick this up at least on DVD. I don't know if you get anything really worth Blu-ray in it.
Yeah, maybe get some Dolph Lundgren baseball cards. This is me when I was in Rocky. This is me when I auditioned for Terminator. Got turned down for that one. Yo, Dolph Lundgren as Terminator, equally terrifying.
Yes.
Because I would be like, oh, that's a Nazi Terminator. Those blonde hair, blue eyes, that's a Nazi bot. Yeah, I think the same for me. DVD would be fun to have, just because growing up as a kid, I was such a huge Stone Cold fan.
Right.
Because, and he's shaped a little bit of my attitude. He's like, where he's like, I don't give a fuck.
Right.
Yeah.
He's definitely like taught me that if I open a beer and it foams over a little, it's not like a loss. I could just be like, just throw me another beer.
Oh, those are highlights, right? At the end of every match, there was like a beer guy that just chucks him beer.
Yep.
Amazing. It's
Yep.
so amazing. Equally terrifying though is that remember that those like Edge, Christian, and Gengar. Mm-hmm. I think there was equally as terrifying. There was a guy with blood on standby, or like corn syrup.
Oh, you're right. Yes.
Yeah, when Gengar he was about to lose a fight, and they would just douse the guy with syrup.
Yep.
And then the match would end like. No, you can't win like that. You can't just douse somebody with blood and win.
It was like, you don't want to continue fighting because you're all sticky. I just want to go take a shower.
That guy was only performing on Sunday Night Heat. While Edge and Christian climbed up and got down to SmackDown.
Yeah.
Oh, man. But, yeah, well, Kobe, like, so we have 5 minutes of free time. What are some of your favorite Stone Cold moments?
Well, on a totally not Stone Cold moment, but since you said that, it reminded me. I just recently went to a little pop culture comic book kind of convention.
Okay.
And Kevin Nash was there signing autographs.
Oh, jackknife.
I did not fork up $50 to get his autograph, but then later on. We were just kind of walking around the convention hall, and he walked by, and I did not realize what a giant of a man he was. Like, I was thinking I would have to jump to have him poke me in the eye with his nipple. Like,
He's like, what, 6'6"?
6'10".
He's 6'10", man. That means Razor Ramon was pretty tall, too.
So he's like 13 inches taller than me.
Jeez. Man. I'm surprised, you know, he was also a little bit too early because, man, him and Big Show could have some great fights.
Right.
Do you think Kevin Nash could jackknife powerbomb Big Show?
He probably could. Yeah.
Big Show's a big dude.
Yeah.
No, one of my favorite Stone Cold moments is when Stone Cold came into the Royal Rumble and Stone Cold stunnered everybody in the ring. That was the only Stone Cold.
Just walk around the ring, just stunner, and nobody could stop it. It's just like he just walked up and stunner time.
Stunner time. And then they would roll out. Like, you didn't get tossed out. Just stay in the ring. No, they would roll out. They're like, I don't want to get stunnered again. That's embarrassing. Yo, like, that for me, that had to be like the golden age of WWF when the rivalry of The Rock and Stone Cold.
Yeah.
Because I can't in my mind because I grew up with like Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior, and all that stuff, but I don't remember a rivalry as great as theirs to me. You might because
no, I know what you mean. Yeah. That was kind of like I had gotten so like I like. Was young, I did like the Hulk Hogan, the Andre the Giant, like, and then I kind of like, I got out of wrestling, and then I got back into it with some of my buddies. We kind of got back in, and it was like, yeah, and then you had, Undertaker was getting big, but yeah, there was
right underneath that though is Undertaker versus Mankind.
Yep, right.
Man, that first Hell in the Cell match. I mean, it's funny enough, is Mick Foley's book, Have a Nice Day, was one of the first huge books I've ever, read to completion. To learn about his days when he was in Japanese wrestling and all that stuff. I was like, this is crazy. And that I think that book came out when I was, in 3rd grade. And I was like, man, this is a crazy life.
Right.
Because, man, Japanese wrestling is even more brutal.
But yeah, there was but it was eras,
yeah,
and then when there wasn't that huge rivalry, there was a year of just wrestling's boring. I'm not really watching it. Nothing's going on, and then two big names would or the two stars would come out of nowhere, and then it would be oh no, we got to start watching again because
yeah. It was funny, because, alright, so if you guys don't know, I'm Filipino. I was raised by my mom, right? And so obviously we were not. She was not forking over any money for any pay-per-view. Mm-hmm. And like, not traumatic to me, but I mean, I'm pretty sure it was traumatic to a lot of people. But I was just like awestruck, right? The first and only pay-per-view my mom ever paid for is the one where Owen Hart died.
Oh,
I was like, oh, and I was taping it. You know, I was like, oh, you know, I could watch this over and over again. You know, because I think the main line was the main liner was one of Stone Cold and Rock's first like title matches together.
Right.
You know, that's where like Stone Cold rock bottomed the Rock through the table, and the Rock Stone Cold stunnered Stone Cold Steve Austin. And then Owen Hart dies. I was like, oh my god! That's when he was using his alter ego, the Blue
Tornado, or yeah. Yes, I actually hardly saw any pay-per-views, but I saw that one as well, and it was like, and it was the announcer guy that always wore the always wore the cowboy hat.
Oh god, what's his name? He was such good friends with Jerry Lawler. No, that was the King.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, I forgot his name now. Rest in peace, though. I know he passed away.
Yeah, but he was like, oh, everybody, I just want to let you know, this is a real accident.
Yeah.
This is not a wrestling accident.
Yeah.
This is a real accident. I thought that was a real interesting way to say it without like. Yeah. Without saying wrestling was fake or anything.
Well, yeah. I mean, everyone knew wrestling was fake. It was just a man's soap opera, right?
Right.
But you know, but he wanted to he wanted to announce to everybody. I think was like, this is real, like
right. And that was, they were at that point they were putting him on like the gurney and taking him out, like so he was. I think he was still. They weren't sure at that point what the extent was.
Yeah, that was a rough pay-per-view to pay for my mom. But,
I guess if you're only going to see one, that's the one to see.
Yeah, right? Because you'll never forget that. Like that's like one of those moments is like, nope, that's stuck in my mind. Someone could die in wrestling. And you know, obviously we've had more deaths after that, but you know, that one was probably the most like that happened there. For a lot of fans, right?
Right.
But yeah, hope you. So we're ending such on
such a
that's
somber terrible.
Note,
yeah.
Sorry, guys. Let's throw in one more Stone Cold Steve Austin moment, just to really solidify this. When he Stone Cold stunned Stephanie McMahon. So he was ruthless because I think he even told Stephanie McMahon that she had a penis. She's like, "You're really a man, aren't you?"
And wasn't there like Vince McMahon was like, you have to kiss my ass in the middle of the ring, and then once he got like pantsed, he got like then he got stunned. Steve Austin didn't play. Everybody just got like whatever you want me to do.
The rattlesnake.
Wrong. Stunner time.
You know, like that moment right when you said that, like, you know, I think Stone Cold, he had retired from wrestling and all that stuff, and there was like that big lull. I think during that big lull is when tag teams became more prominent. That's when we had the Hardy Boys, the Dudley Boys, and Edge and Christian.
Oh,
and I think that was the year.
Oh, right, because that was when things went like hardcore or extreme.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because then the Hardy Boys had become so popular. You know, and Jeff Hardy with all of his like ridiculous,
it's like high flying stuff. Yeah,
it was just like it got money, right? And I think that year was the birth of the first TLC match, because for some reason each of them specialized in things.
Right,
Hardy Boys specialized in ladders. Dudley Boys specialized in the tables,
putting people through a table. Yep.
And Edge and Christian, I guess, with the chairs. I don't know. I don't remember anything prominent. I just remember playing the video games, and I was like, all right, if I'm playing the Dudley Boys, I gotta put someone through the table with a Dudley bomb. And I think that was also the year that The Rock really blew up, because he stopped being a part of the association under Vince McMahon's control, and he became like the most electrifying man in sports entertainment. That's when he came up with the people's elbow. I also made sure I was able to do that in the video games. It's like, nope, I gotta spine buster him right in the middle of the ring because it doesn't work if it's not in the middle of the ring.
Yep.
It does, but it doesn't look as cool, right? All right, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Please make sure you check all the links down below. It's our Amazon affiliate links. If you guys want to help support us, we always appreciate that.
We definitely appreciate you listening and loving us. And if you ever want to talk to us, jump on our Facebook. It's probably the easiest way. And give us some thumbs and some shares, and let us know what you want to hear and what we do good and what we do bad. And, hey, making fun of us is just as much fun as praising us.
Exactly. Hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. My name is Barry.
This is Colby.
And this is Who Watches This. The person who does our theme music is Lee Rosevere. It's called Arcade Montage. It's on her album Music for Podcast 3, and her Bandcamp is down below.
Thank you.